of all, Floyd thinks he's so much bigger than Conor. He's wrong. Listen, Floyd's gone undefeated for 20 years. I give him all the credit in the world for doing that. But for him, Conor's been around for 3 or 4 years. For him to think that he's a much bigger star than Conor isn't true. And I'm not gonna pay him way more money than I'm gonna pay.
Relax.
Step back. Bring your balls, Conor. Remember, did you bring your balls, Conor? Get over it. Did you bring your balls, Conor? Did you bring your balls, Conor?
It's not a beach. That's all.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Relax.
Step back. Bring your balls, Conor. Remember, did you bring your balls, Conor? Get over it. Did you bring your balls, Conor? Did you bring your balls, Conor?
It's not a beach. That's all.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Relax.
Step back. Bring your balls, Conor. Remember, did you bring your balls, Conor? Get over it. Did you bring your balls, Conor? Did you bring your balls, Conor?
It's not a beach. That's all.
Floyd, when he said he's going to slap Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Let me tell you what. You interviewed Floyd, right?
I have.
You had to aim the camera down here, right? Floyd's about this tall, okay? His hands are like peanut brittle. He has to wrap them 1,000,000 times so he doesn't break his hands.
What would you like for it? Can you give us a number? 100 million, 200 million? What do you think is fair for you? Because he continues to say that he's the A side, right? So you need to kind of come a little lower. What would you like? Tell us your terms.
He's the scared side. Let's be honest. He's not trying to have a real fight. He needs rules to protect him. I don't need rules. So he can say he's this and he's that, but in reality, he's scared shitless.
I tell you what, we all know $25 million isn't peanuts, and so does he. You know, he's hanging his watch out the window. His watch is the problem, okay? When you're wearing a watch that's $250,000, you're going to need $25 million real quick, pal, real quick. And hey, Floyd, taxes are coming up too, buddy.
They're not on my level. They are not on my level. Roger Mayweather, I know saying fuck the Mayweathers, but Roger said, most people don't know shit about boxing. Well, Conor McGregor says, most people don't know shit about fighting. Trust me, I don't care what rule set it's under. Most people don't know shit about fighting. I'm gonna teach him about true fighting. And that's it. I land one on the dome, anywhere on the dome. He's gonna know about it.
Hey man, so now you got the boxing license now. Are you gonna fight Floyd?
What's he trying to get Floyd? What's Floyd gonna do? We're looking for anyone.
Well, he's been talking all this.
I'm the one with the numbers. We're looking for anyone.
Well, he's talking all this smack about you.
Into this mutant ninja to hold you.
That's what.
Joined now by UFC President Dana White, who's currently in Vegas before taking off to Dallas for UFC 211. And Dana, this past weekend, you said you lost your September 16th date for a fight between Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. When's your next target date for that?
I don't have a targeted date for that now. That was the date that we were shooting for, provided we could get the deals done. And, you know, we're not even that far along in the process, so I guess I don't need to worry about the date anymore.
Okay, well, if a date can't be arranged in 2017, do you think there's any chance we see Conor fight in the UFC this year at all?
Yeah, Conor wants to fight. Conor wants to fight Floyd. Conor wants to fight twice this year. So, you know, we'll just have to see how this thing plays out.
Okay, well, a superstar showdown. A lot of people are very excited for that. Now, talking about timelines, last month in Buffalo, you did say we could expect a date for the return of Georges St-Pierre within about a week. Any update on that front?
Nope. Obviously, I was expecting him to fight this summer. That is not the case, so we'll see what happens. I know he recently came out and said he'd like to fight in November. You know, I like Georges St-Pierre. He's a great guy. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Well, to some other Canadian news, the UFC recently announcing UFC 216 would be held in Edmonton. What made you choose Edmonton for this year's lone Canadian pay-per-view?
Well, listen, you know how I feel about Canada. I've said it a million times. Love it up there. Some of the greatest events we've ever held have been in Canada, and it's time for Edmonton.
Time for Edmonton. Love it. Now, looking ahead to this weekend, you have heavyweights in the main event, Stipe Miocic versus Junior Dos Santos. Dos Santos won their first match. That went 5 rounds. You expecting a similar slugfest this time around?
I don't know. It's interesting. You know, Stipe Miocic is a completely different fighter now. Since losing, you know, a close decision to Junior Dos Santos in their first fight, he's gone on and knocked everybody out. He won the world title by knockout and defended it by knockout. I think Stipe Miocic is a completely different fighter, and I don't see this going to a decision again. We'll see what happens.
All right, a busy weekend ahead. Dana, enjoy UFC 211. Thanks so much for this.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now we're going to go drop into him and see what he's about and meet one of the fans.
Give me Mr. McGregor.
What's up?
Holy shit, man.
How are you, bro?
I'm good. How are you? This is awesome.
I'm blown away by this, man. I drove by a couple of times and I was like, what the f?
Yeah,
I thought I was seeing things at first. Like,
no, it's been up since your Max Holloway fight, man.
No way. Are you looking forward to the fight next week?
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
You kidding me? I got my shirt, my wardrobe in there. I got your shoes. You see them right through there.
What, the Reeboks?
Yeah, it says champ on the back.
I don't even have them. I didn't even need them ones. They are unbelievable, man.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah.
Honestly, man, that's unbelievable. I'm going to put on a show for you.
Thank you so much, yeah. Every Saturday before the fight, I put up my cardboard cutout, I put up the flag, I put up the banner, and the only thing I can say, and I hope Conor sees this, is that feeling he had with Jose Aldo when he knocked him out and he became the champ, hands down, that's what I felt like tonight. Like, that's how amazing it was, and I really hope he sees that, and I mean, I think he saw it on my face, and there we go again, see, it's going again, but that's what, that's the best I can say, man. I'm enamored right now, man. I'm shaking. I'm acting like such a little baby, and I'm sorry. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it, man. Honestly, it was an honor to meet you, brother. I appreciate the support of all the fans out here and all over the world. I never take it for granted. I use it as a motivation, so I am extremely grateful to the fans.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so
You're the man.
That was awesome.
My goodness.
Full police copper outfit. Pulled me in, I was like, I'm gonna get a ticket or I'm gonna get brought to court or something, fine. He comes up to the window and looks at me. Have you got a driver's license? I says, yeah. Showed him the driver's license. He looked at the driver's license, looked at me and said, do you mind if I jump in the passenger seat for a selfie? All right then. Jumps in the passenger, takes a selfie. Thanks very much, see you later. Off I went at 200 miles per hour. Like Batman. Bang in the middle of the street because I own the West Coast. Let's cross right. What do you mean cross? Yeah, in the middle of the street I walk. Who's gonna stop me? Anyone gonna stop me?
From Flow Rider.
Right, Conor!
Parking my baby out, right in your house. That should be out on the road. Fast. It's powerful. This life is a good life.
Oh my gosh, you know, you're in
What's up, bud? How are you?
the best press conference ever.
Now we're down here. Just wasting time. What else are you gonna do? Train, eat, shop. I come down here and blow a load of money on my beautiful woman and myself. And it motivates me to push and keep going. Not many people from where I come from experience this. Full police copper outfit. Pulled me in, I was like, I'm gonna get a ticket or I'm gonna get brought to court or something, fine. He comes up to the window and looks at me. Have you got a driver's license? I says, yeah. Showed him the driver's license. He looked at the driver's license, looked at me and said, do you mind if I jump in the passenger seat for a selfie? All right then. Jumps in the passenger, takes a selfie. Thanks very much, see you later. Off I went at 200 miles per hour. Like Batman.